Hello students, welcome to MJC Learning. In today's session, we are going to learn the last and the concluding topic of chapter e-commerce and e-governance, that is security measures in e-commerce. Here, we are going to study about encryption, digital signature and digital certificate. So let's begin. Encryption is a method of protecting data from people you don't want to see it. For example, when you use your credit card for any online payment, your computer encrypts that information so that others can't steal your personal data as it is being transferred. Similarly, if you have a file on your computer which you want to keep secret only for yourself, then you can encrypt it so that no one can open that file without the password. So it's great for everything from sending sensitive information to securing your email, keeping your storage safe, and even hiding your entire operating system. So encryption is the process of encoding messages or information in such a way that only authorized parties can read it. Or in simple words, we can say encryption is a process that converts original information, also called as plain text, into a difficult to interpret form called as the ciphertext. So, readable text is the plain text, and non-readable text will be called as the ciphertext in this context. The encryption is widely used on the internet to protect user information being sent between a browser and a server. This includes passwords, payment information, and other personal information that should be considered as private. Every time someone uses an ATM or buys something online using a smartphone, encryption is used to protect the information. This consists of two processes, that is encryption and decryption. Encryption converts plain text, that is readable form of data, into ciphertext, that is the coded form of data, means non-readable form of data. And decryption is exactly opposite process of encryption. It converts the ciphertext to the plain text. Encryption has been a long-standing way for sensitive information to be protected. Earlier, it was used by militaries and governments. In modern times, encryption was used to protect data stored on computers and storage devices, as well as data in transit over the networks. So now also mainly encryption is used to protect data in transmission and data at rest also. Next, we will look at the two types of encryption: symmetric and asymmetric. Symmetric encryption is also called as shared secret encryption, and asymmetric can be called as public key encryption. So symmetric key encryption is also referred to as secret key encryption, and it uses a single key. A single key. The key is sometimes referred to as a shared secret because the sender or the computing system doing the encryption, that is the coding, must share the secret key with all the entities authorized to decrypt the message. This type of encryption uses the same keys for both the encryption of plain text also and decryption of ciphertext also. The keys may be identical or maybe a simple transformation to go between the two keys. Both the parties, sender and the receiver, can have access to the secret key, which is one of the main drawbacks of symmetric key encryption. Second one is the asymmetric key. This type is also known as public key encryption. It is a process that uses a pair of related keys. The pair of keys we will be discussing in the next slide. So this asymmetric encryption uses key pairs for encrypting and decrypting data. Public key is one key and private key is another key. I will be discussing about these two keys in the next slide in brief. So time being, we will see public key is used to encrypt data and private key is used to decrypt data. Remember this time being. Public key is used to encrypt data and private key is used to decrypt the data. Any message that is encrypted by using the private key can only be decrypted by using the matching public key. It has the ability to share secret data without sharing the same encryption key. So now we learned both the types of encryption here. Which one of these do you think is better? Let's compare. Symmetric is fast, but it is not safe because someone could steal the key here and decode the messages. But because of its speed, it is commonly used for e-commerce transactions. Other ways, asymmetric key encryption requires far more computations to both encryption and decryption of the content of the message. So process takes longer, but it has the ability to share the data without sharing the same encryption key. So both types of encryption are having their respective pros and cons. So this was all the possible information on encryption. Next we will see the second part, that is the digital signature. This is the next security measure in e-commerce. A digital signature is also known as an electronic signature. It is a way to ensure that an electronic document, say you can consider email, spreadsheet, text file, etc. So it is a way to ensure that all these electronic documents are authentic. Authenticated means what? It means that you know who has created the document and you know that it is not altered since its creation. So it uses encryption technique to provide proof of original and unmodified documentation. It ensures that the original content of the message that has been sent is unchanged in transmission. It can be used with any kind of message, whether it is encrypted or not, simply so that the receiver can be sure of the sender's identity and that the message arrived is intact. So digital signature is used in e-commerce, software distribution and financial transactions. This is the direct transfer of information between two partners. So digital signatures rely on certain types of encryption to ensure authentication. Encryption is the process of taking all the data that one computer is sending to another and encoding it into a form that only the other computer will be able to decode. So authentication here is the process to verify that information is coming from a trusted source. So these two processes work hand in hand for digital signatures, the encryption and the decryption. In the process, the digital signature uses pair of keys, that is the private key and the public key. I had referred to this in the previous slide. So in the sixth slide I had mentioned, but now we will learn about it slightly in detail with definitions. So private key means that each computer has a secret key that it can use to encrypt a packet of information because before it is sent over to the network to the other computer. And public key is used to decode an encrypted message. Now the private key, also called as a secret key, are only shared with the keys generator who has generated the key, making it slightly secure. It is typically a long randomly generated number. Private key is in the form of a randomly generated number that cannot be easily guessed. Since only one key is involved, the process is fast and simple. Private keys need to be changed frequently to avoid being leaked or stolen. If private key is forgotten or lost, then the system is broken and messages stay encrypted. Second, the public key is used to decode an encrypted message. It is also a large numerical value that is used to encrypt the data. The key can be generated by a software program, but more often it's provided by a trusted authority and made available to everyone through a publicly accessible directory. So digital signatures are like electronic fingerprints in the form of a coded message. The digital signature securely associates a signer with a document in a recorded transaction. Next, now, lot of people get confused with the term digital signature and electronic signature. So let's see the difference between the two. Digital signature is a type of electronic signature that offers more security than a traditional electronic signature. When you sign a document with a digital signature, it links the fingerprint to your identity. Then that information is permanently embedded into the document, and the document will show if someone had tampered with it after you have signed it. Whereas electronic signatures are popular, very easy to use. Customers can sign documents online with a click of the mouse or by using their fingers to trace a handwritten signature onto the document. But they don't have the secure coding which digital signatures have. They have an image placed on the document, but they can't show if someone tampers with the document after it is signed. So that was the difference between digital signature and the electronic signature. Next, let's go to the last security measure, that is the digital certificate. Digital certificate is an electronic password that allows a person or organization to exchange data securely over the internet using the public key infrastructure. It is also known as a public key certificate or a identity certificate. In this, information is transferred between two authorized partners who have digital certificates issued by some supreme authority. Consider here the certificate as an attachment. It is in a digital form of identification, like a passport, say. It is issued by a trusted party to verify the identity of an entity, such as a client or a server. It serves two purposes: verification of owner's identity and making the owner's public key available. The data in the digital certificate represents who owns the certificate, who has signed the certificate, and the other relevant information. It also includes serial number and the period of time when the certificate is valid. For important communication between different entities, digital certificates are used as an attachment to an electronic mail message for security purposes and to verify the authenticity of the sender. There are four main types of digital certificates: server certificate, personal certificate, organization certificate, and developer certificate. A digital certificate is essentially a bit of information that says the web server is trusted by an independent source known as a certificate authority. It contains the public key for a digital signature and specifies the identity associated with the key, such as name of the organization. Encryption alone is not enough, as it provides no proof of the identity of the sender of encrypted information. Digital certificate provides a more complete security solution, assuring the identity of all the parties involved in a transaction. One advantage of digital certificate is to decrease the number of passwords a user has to remember to gain access to the different network domains. Another advantage is they create an electronic audit trail that allows companies to track down who executed a transaction or accessed an area. So this was the information about digital certificate. So the three security measures discussed today can implement to provide a reliable platform for secure payment transactions. Ensuring payment security is crucial for any e-commerce enterprise as it helps in building better customer relationships and a solid trust factor. This eventually aids in business expansion. It will attract more repeat customers and give them safe and a secure shopping environment. That's all for today. Thank you.